Pace is very, very hot at the front. Good battle going on there with Ian Locker and Keith Moore behind this pack.
Back into the run down from Metropole to Church. Steve Hennigan on the 56 by Paul Schumich on the Speed Freak Ice Valley Yamaha on the 22 machine there as they go up. Black Hill back at the front. This will give you a bit of an impression. Take a look at those clouds. It has got a little cloud here actually. Been a lovely, lovely week weather-wise right up until race day.
It's slowing.
It is slowing. The machine's going down.
Guy Martin.
That's a broken bike.
A puff of smoke.
Disaster for Guy Martin. Hand comes out. I'll tell you what, that's very dangerous when motorcycles are going by 180 mile an hour. Guy Martin then is out of this race. So the Hydrex machine pulls out. That's a disaster. The Hydrex Bike Animal Honda has given way. The number 9 machine pulls over. Well, that will be... Well, his sister's going to be a little teary after that, I'm sure.
What a disappointment. Guy Martin, he actually did have a lead. As good a lead as you're ever likely to get around. He steps down to have a look what's going on, but that was an engine failure. We heard the revs drop down and we saw a puff of smoke out the back of it. But these guys don't know what's going on. But look at this, Plater now takes the lead.
Matters Cross, Plater goes through in the lead. Well, he has come up from something like 6th place at the beginning of this race. Plater didn't look like he was going to be in the hunt for honours today in the big Superbike race. He's just gone back into 2nd place as the relentless Suzukis are looking so fast. Well, you've got to say, the relentless Bitas boys have got these bikes absolutely quick, but they don't account for Plater on the brakes. He is unbelievably scary. Through the Macroboy chicane, back onto the main run, down towards Metropole now. Plater has positioned himself back in the number 1 position. Remember him last year. Remember him at Macau, if any of you got a chance to see him around the streets of Macau. He really has become a great road racer.
Aim 1-2. It was for a little while there because, no, it's not. It's Michael Rutter there. Look at that. Rutter using the speed of the Ducati, but it's Cameron Donald slips back into 2nd place.
And McGuinness comes up the inside, does he? Eventually, no, he doesn't. McGuinness is back in the hunt as well. Flames, well, Plater would love to burn them all off, and judging by the flames coming out the back of that AIM Yamaha, he's going to. Cameron Donald in 2nd place on the 6th bike. The 200 bike is Michael Rutter. Rutter looking to make a 2nd Superbike win of the weekend, of course. He took the first one from, I think, McGuinness. It was Guy Martin actually finished 2nd in the first one. McGuinness was 3rd. Plater was 4th. That was the order of the opening Superbike race of the day.
So Michael Rutter now with 12 wins. He'd like to make it 13, but he's going to have to pass these guys in front. Steve Plater looking like a demon on the brakes, but the relentless Suzuki again on the speed. Look at it.
Unbelievable. Doesn't even need slipstream, it would seem, along the front coast road here. But Plater again, well, you might have speed, but you've got to have brakes and the requisite bodily function that goes with them. So through has gone Plater on the number 1 bike from Cameron Donald, the young Australian. Well, he's not that young now, but he's still a great racer. Cameron Donald in 2nd place, blasting away. It's a real duel between these two guys. And Michael Rutter, well, hasn't he become all racy again in 2008? Michael Rutter, some people have written him off. Well, he's looked good in British Superbike racing, and he's looking good here on the roads as well.
Yeah, I have to say he is looking very, very good, isn't he?
14 bike is Gary Johnson on the back of there as well now. On the Robinson Concrete, Yul Duncan entered Honda. And you've got to say, Gary Johnson's had a fantastic week again this week in some great company. He's a name for the future. Not many people think about him outside of motorcycle racing fraternity, but he really is someone to watch for. Gary Johnson, remember the name.
And you've got to remember Michael Rutter, of course, that is the 1200cc twin. It's got a lot of torque out the corners. Rutter was worried about top speed, but from what I've been seeing from the helicopter, it's not much slower than anything else. Steve Plater again, that R1 Yamaha, screaming, but...
the relentless Suzuki screaming more. Straight on by then. This is the run now, right down towards Station Corner. This is Station Corner, a fantastically frightening corner it is as well. Look at how much look how much he's got in front, Steve, on that one section.
There's the Ducati. That is the Ducati of Michael Rutter.
Rutter, neat, tidy, got it all tucked in as usual. And again, the AIM Yamaha has a definite disadvantage against some of the motorcycles around here. Steve Mellor will have been working on that bike, I'm sure, but it looks to me like it has a disadvantage, perhaps top speed-wise. Rutter going for the lead. Is he going to manage to sneak by Cameron Donald? Not yet on the brakes. Rutter not perhaps known to be, well...
John McGuinness has gathered it all up after that excursion down the slip road. He's back in touch with all these guys. Again, on board with Steve Plater. Once again, screaming away, and the front fork's working overtime. Because you've got to remember that. Handling-wise, these bikes, they either get better or worse depending on the settings you start with. The bike is never consistent from the start to the finish. Suspension-wise, tyre-wise and weight-wise.
Well, you talk about tyres again, of course, that will be an issue as these bikes move on later into the race. And at the moment, Pirelli have the advantage in the first 2 places. Plater is the man on the Dunlops, but he's also on the slower of the three motorcycles out front at the moment. McGuinness now is closing in as well on Steve Plater, so Plater's got a lot on his plate.
Again, here we come into the break. Plater always takes the inside line down here, and this time it's bucking the back wheels up in the air. Is he going to get it stopped? And he does. Rutter runs just a little bit wide.
This ain't going to be over till the very last chicane. There's no doubt about that. Cameron Donald leads then. Big waves coming from the crowd for Rutter, I'm sure, in second place. Third is Plater still as they go up Black Hill. Look at the black lines where they've been spinning the tyres all the way up the hill here. Too much horsepower for these motorcycles to stick to the road most of the time. And it's going to get worse as it gets later on in the race.
Yeah, that's fourth gear as they come up through there. Back to third, fourth. This, the run up over the top of the hill. You can't see how steep it is, but it is quite steep. Back markers in the way down.
Yeah, blasting past the back markers. Not much of a concern there, though. He was out of the racing line, and they were able to go straight past him. Great overhead shots then. And you can see there the braking. Well, you might have a fast motorcycle, but look at Plater. Plater came from back behind the two of them and took both of them. Rutter took the lead from Cameron Donald, and Plater took it from both of them. Rutter's got his feet off the footrest. This has got to be the run to the line, to the flag. It is going to be Steve Plater as he comes down towards Juniper. Ever the opportunist. Rutter was the man that had pinched that, well, the leading position, but it is Plater who nods his head, chucks his feet off the footrest and takes the Northwest 200 feature race of the day. It is the Black Horse Motorcycle Finance Northwest 200. Steve Plater has done it. A fantastic last gasp effort from the Lincolnshire man to take the win. And that's a nice sign as well. John McGuinness gives his congratulations. Fantastic. McGuinness finishing in 5th place then, Cameron Donald in 2nd, Rutter 3rd, Bruce Anstey 4th, Gary Johnson a great 6th, and Keith Moore 7th.
I knew the Taz bike was a little bit slow going into the chicane, and once Michael got his nose past, he sort of held him there and held him out, so I knew I could let go the brake and run through, and it was very close, but that's what you have to do in a close race to finish first.
It was close, it was pretty aggressive.
Yeah, you know, we had some problems after the first race with 1 or 2 issues, and done a fantastic job, and obviously the whole team's worked very hard all week, getting the O and Yamaha ready for race day, and it's paid dividends.